mercy, a month of mercy and rahmah for the creation, for the servants. In actual fact, the Quran outlays and outlines the purpose of our existence, and then also mentions the means how to achieve that purpose. In the very first command of Quran, the Quran mentions the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by saying, Ya ayyuhan nasu u'budu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum walladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. In here, the command is given to worship and to serve. But here it's mentioned that the worship is not the end. Ibadah is not the end, but only a means to an end. Worship has many, many forms. Sometimes it is done in the form of prayers, sometimes in the form of fasting, sometimes in the form of giving money, sometimes in the form of striving and struggling, sometimes in the form of recitation of tasbih and durood and dhikr, sometimes in the form of umrah, sometimes in the form of qurbani and sacrifices. But all these things are not the end. Unfortunately, many people think knowingly, unknowingly, that it is the end. And those who take it as an end, then they miss the real target. And what is the real? Because people think, okay, I have fasted, then that's fine. I have prayed, that's fine. I have given sadaqah, that's fine. I have learned knowledge, that's fine. I have taught knowledge, that's fine. I have helping the poor, the needy, the hungry, and giving alms and giving money and giving financial assistance in the form of zakah and charity, etc. And they think that's it now. Now, this is not the full picture, because the Quran itself says, Ya ayyuhan nasu u'budu, that, oh human beings, worship your Lord. If it was the end, then it would have been, okay, after you worship, then you've achieved. But it says you worship, which all kinds of worship come in here, but they are there for لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you may achieve taqwa, the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now we know that worship is means to that big purpose, or you may say the ultimate end, the ultimate purpose. And the ultimate purpose is the taqwa. And taqwa is synonym to the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because when a person achieves taqwa, they have the pleasure of Allah Jalla Majduhu. But when they worship, it's not necessary that they have the pleasure of Allah. In the hadith it's mentioned that many people who had been doing good deeds, the knowledgeable people who've been teaching knowledge, the people who've been doing charity work, the people who've been striving for the betterment of humanity, and they have been martyred, all of them will be brought and presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and will be asked that what did you do? They will say, we've been doing all these kinds of worships. But it will, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say that you did not have the taqwa of the heart. You had not achieved the taqwa. With taqwa is an inner quality, a connection to Allah Jalla Majduhu, and then actions emanate from it. And because of not having taqwa, they will not benefit, because their amal, their deeds, although they were good, but their motives and the reasons why they did will be other than pleasure of Allah, other than the goodness, but rather sometimes it is fame and name and approval of people and gaining honor and prestige and a sense of piety in the sight of people. So it will become null and void, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azza wa jal values intention and then the amal. The amal all are based, majority of them or nearly all of them, on intention, that what really a person wants from the heart. You see, a person who is defrauding the other person, he is also giving some money. He's giving you £100 to take £1,000 from you later on, but outwardly he is giving £100. It seems he is giving something. He's giving food, he's giving gifts, but the motive behind is to not your love, your welfare, but it is something other. So similarly, a person can be doing good deeds, but the motive could be wrong. And when the motive is wrong, then really that deed is invalid. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is alimum bidhati sudur. So what is taqwa? Taqwa is basically, you may say, as human beings are bound to two things. One is time and one is space. So either we'll be living in any of the 24 hours, and also we will be somewhere, home, somewhere in any other country, this country. These two things, we will be somewhere and we will live in time. We will be at a particular time. So taqwa, we can, to make it easy, we can say they has 4 ingredients. Number 1, wherever you are and which time ever you are, to think that what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want from me at this time? What is His demand? What does He want me to do at this particular time? Let's say a person is having an argument with someone. So taqwa would be that what does Allah wants me to do at this time? To aggravate the argument, to actually be more harsher to the person, or to continue the argument, or to finish it, or to just to withdraw? What does Allah want from me? So doing what Allah wants from you at that particular time or place for the pleasure of Allah, that is one part of the taqwa. Similarly, you can be in a situation at home, a situation has arisen, a domestic situation between family. So taqwa would be that what does Allah Jalla Majduhu want me to do at this particular time, this place? What does He want? Does He want me to be violent? Does He want me to actually be gentle? Does He want me to be patient? Does He want me to be tolerant at this time? So you can give and think about examples all through. You are from, well, you will be fasting. So at Sahri time, what does Allah wants from me? During the day, what does He want? How does He want me to spend time? During the work, during the family interaction, and all through it. Second is, what does the Prophet ﷺ want from me? What does he want from me at this particular time? What did he show me? What was his life? What was his seerah? At this particular time, in this situation, I am at work, I am in the marketplace, I am at home, I am in the masjid, I am on the street. In any given situation, what does the Prophet ﷺ want from me? And thirdly, what does the creation of Allah want from me? At this time, what do they want from me? And what do they demand from me? What would they like from me? So to give that and to do what the Prophet ﷺ wants you to do, and to do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to do, and doing all that with sincere heart, presence of Allah. That is, you may say, you have taqwa now, inwardly and outwardly in action form.